Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today we're gonna make a really easy but a really delicious dinner. It's Thai chicken salad. Let's go. So our first step is to get our chicken breast into a crock pot. This is the easiest way I have found to get shredded chicken with the least amount of effort. So I'm just gonna put all of these chicken breasts into a crock pot here. Now I am making a ton because I'm making a bunch of different recipes and I'm going to freeze my shredded chicken to make those recipes and keep the chicken nice and fresh. But you can definitely, do less than I'm doing here. This is going to take quite a while. So I've got 2 packs. I did about 10 pounds of chicken, but you can do whatever you want. I just do about a cup of water per 4 chicken breasts. I probably have like 10 to 12 in here. So that means I'm gonna do about 3 cups of water, or honestly just whatever fits in my crock pot. That was probably about 2 cups. It's just enough to kind of get a broth going. And you can definitely use chicken broth instead of water, but I have chicken bouillon powder that I just used, so a couple tablespoons of that in there. I am going to kind of mix that in just so that the flavor can kind of get into the chicken. Alright, we'll get this covered and we're going to cook this on low for 6 to 8 hours. You could also do high for 3 to 4 hours. And that is it, and I'll show you how to shred it when it's done. Alright, I've had this on high for 5 hours now, so I'm going to check the temperature of the chicken. Chicken needs to be at 165 in the thickest part. Yep, we're at 170 there. Yep, we are good. So this chicken is ready. And then to make shredding this way easier and faster, I'm going to take all of this chicken out of the broth and just put it in this big large bowl here. You could definitely save this broth here. I mean, we put chicken broth in it, but now it has, chicken fat and some flavor to it. You could definitely use it as chicken broth still. And now this trick I learned forever ago that I use constantly is to just use a hand mixer to shred this chicken while it's warm. So watch how easy this is. Instead of just using like a fork to pull it apart, watch. You can see it is shredding this chicken perfectly. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll be back. And then if you've got any chunks that just didn't get shredded, you can definitely pull it by hand. But this just makes it go so much faster. It is a little messy, as you can see. It kind of got everywhere, but it's easy to clean up. It's just chicken. There's no sauce or anything, so it's not too bad. So I'm gonna let this cool and I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then we will make our first recipe. Okay, this is gonna come together really quickly. I am going to start with 2 bags of tricolor coleslaw mix. This has red cabbage and green cabbage and carrots, which is what this recipe calls for. So we're just gonna make it easy and use the pre-made stuff. And you know what? I think I'm only gonna do that much. I don't wanna do too much because I'm the kind of person that gets kind of tired of the same old thing. So I'm gonna add about 2 cups of shredded chicken. And then I'm adding in 1 red bell pepper, nice and chopped up. And then I'm gonna chop up some cilantro, probably about 1/4 of a cup worth. A can of drained mandarin oranges. And then we're gonna chop up some green onions. We'll set our salad to the side, and now we're going to make the dressing. And I'm actually gonna spray my measuring cup with a little bit of nonstick spray, and that will help our peanut butter not stick to it. I'm using chunky peanut butter just because it called for peanut butter and peanuts. So I'm just gonna do chunky peanut butter that has nice big chunks in it like this. I am gonna stir it up. Since I'm having this recipe, the original one called for 1/2 cup, so I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup here. And then we'll do about a tablespoon of honey. I microwaved mine because it's getting crystallized. This is actually some cayenne honey. It's not super hot though, so we'll just use that because that's what I have. About a tablespoon of lime juice, 1/2 teaspoon of sriracha or similar, about 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce, And then I'm gonna use our chicken broth here. So about a half a cup of chicken broth, about a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and then I'm gonna add in a little bit of white pepper. I just really like this flavor. So probably about a half a teaspoon. And then it calls for sesame oil. I don't love the flavor of sesame oil, so I'm just gonna put in some white toasted sesame seeds and about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'm just gonna throw in a tiny pinch of salt. We already have soy sauce in here, so not a ton. And then we're gonna whisk this together until it's nice and smooth. And then we're just gonna drizzle this over our salad. I'm also gonna add in just a little handful of sliced almonds for some crunch. And then we're just gonna stir it together to get that sauce coated on everything. And it was as simple as that. Dinner is ready. I'm gonna dish this up for me and my mom. We'll give it a little taste test, but that's dinner served. All right, let's give this a taste test and see how we did. It smells really good. All right, let's go. It is really tasty. It's a little dry, and I think that's just because I halved the recipe. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of all the little sauce components, but this is definitely an easy, delicious dinner. My husband doesn't really love raw veggies, but my mom's over here, so we're gonna have this, and he can have leftovers from the other night. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks guys, bye.